No eye contact.
That actually would be ideal. I mean, not the no eye contact.
That's why this needs to be a video episode. Because that was a office level camera look.
It really was.
That needs to be, when we start recording video, it just needs to be.
You got to have a camera you can cut to and just.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Girl.
No, I was on my way to the Caritas ball mask and went to open my phone to look at TikTok, and it was like, nope.
You know why I haven't impulsively? Because the last week or so leading up to the ban, all of my feed was just people having meltdowns.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to watch this. I'm just going to... So I just haven't used it in like a week.
My favorite thing leading up to the TikTok ban was everybody in the TikTok shop still trying to sell their thing or push their thing or make their hustle.
The world is on fire, and these people are still trying to sell me a $2 African net sponge.
Girl, you can get this $20 wig right here.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, had TikTok gone down and you ordered all that stuff through the TikTok shop, baby, they could have kept your money and sent you shit.
That's the thing. This is also simultaneously. So there were people selling shit on TikTok Shop, and then I kept seeing things from sellers being like, I just got an email saying that my payments have been deferred indefinitely. So like they don't even know whether they're getting paid because TikTok doesn't know what is happening.
Oh, damn. So like live creators
But they're
and stuff
literally
like that.
still trying to hawk you stuff. Meanwhile, creators are like, I don't know how I'm going to get paid.
Good. Now I know where the TikTok story ends. Unless you want to keep talking about TikTok.
No, I don't have anything else to say. I guess I'm happy for the content creators that it's still there.
Right.
Because it is people's livelihood. People do make money off of it.
A lot of small businesses are able to market through there.
And I probably should, for both of my businesses, utilize TikTok and Instagram more. But also, I'll be real with you, I just want to delete everything and go live in the woods.
Have you been recording the whole time? Oh, that's
great.
wonderful.
You gotta let a bitch know.
Oh, no.
I need to know when I have to behave or
That's
not.
the new intro, though, but I'm glad we did that.
Oh, Lord.
So I just went back to my hotel room, ate some Taco Bell, and watched Transformers.
Why not?
Please tell me that was recording.
The last part.
Not the
thank God.
Transformers movie. Which one?
Age of Extinction.
Couldn't, gun to my head, couldn't tell you which one that
The
is.
one with,
Is that the one with the dinosaur robots?
yes,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I think it is.
Connor made me watch one of them, the more recent ones, and I can't remember
So what's
which
really
one it was.
funny is, maybe it's not the dinosaur ones. Maybe it is. I don't remember. What's really funny is I've been working through the Transformer series for some reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I put a Transformers movie on the other day, and I was doing some paperwork and watching the movie at the same time. And I thought John was going to be productive that day. He sat down on that couch and watched that entire movie. I said, I figured out how to handicap John. Just put some Transformers on.
Yeah.
And he stood there watching it for a second. And then he sat down to put his shoes on.
And then he didn't get back
And then
up.
he didn't put his shoes on.
What's the gay equivalent of that?
Drag Race.
Or
Say it.
just music videos.
I was going to say YouTube music videos.
YouTube music videos. And then it just auto loads the next pop star, and you just...
That TikTok where it's like, why does every gay house party turn into everybody just watching YouTube music videos?
Yeah.
We are those. That's a product of our generation.
But we've done that. All three of us have done that before.
Absolutely,
where we've watched
we have.
music videos, or there was 2 or 3 times I've been at y'all's house. We've just watched real estate mansion tours.
They're so much fun.
Because it's something I'll never be able to
have. I can't afford that
a house with that many
multi-million-dollar house.
bathrooms, unreal. Your
house-
garage is underground.
What? I can afford to pay somebody if I can
floors.
afford that house. What the fuck? What do you mean?
What's his name? Yanis? Jan? Whatever. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We haven't watched those videos in a while.
I haven't either, but wow, those are some houses. Damn.
That's his whole shtick is like the most expensive houses in wherever.
I wish I could get paid to make those videos.
You could.
In drag.
You just
You
have to
could.
start making them, and then once you
Okay,
gain,
I
you
don't think.
I don't know
They're
if
just
anybody
gonna let me
around
in people's
I was about to
houses.
say I don't know if anybody around here would just let me pop up into.
They
folks'
don't want to
houses.
let us in their bars to do shows. You think they're going to let us in their houses? Oh my goodness! I can't believe we made it to 6 episodes. Look at us. We're doing things.
We are functional. We are adults. We are getting our lives together in this year of our Lord 2025. We are making money moves. We're manifesting all of those things to be true.
Sure.
as in the money is moving from
That
my
was
bank account.
out of my account.
Out of my bank account.
Absolutely,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like more money flowing into my account in 2025. If we could write that down and put that in the universe.
You know, and I was
Jesus.
thinking in this year of our Lord 2025 that it would be beneficial to learn how to be a savvy and worthwhile gift giver. Because, you know, people have birthdays, people get married, people have anniversaries. They may need a little gift every now and then for these occasions. But we don't want to just get them some bullshit, right? We don't want to buy them a back scratcher.
See, that's where I'm different.
Skittle said, I want the trinket.
No. Well, no. Well, I'm a reformed hoarder, so I do not want any trinkets. But I am a great gift giver.
Oh, I love
I
that.
give really good gifts.
Then I
well,
can't
I used
wait,
to.
Wait,
I don't
hold
have
that
any
thought.
money anymore.
Put a pin in that.
Oh God.
Put a pin in that then. Because
Lordy.
I came across a TikTok. We're starting off with our social media segment this episode. And I came across this TikTok that asked, what is something that you have bought or was gifted to you that you use almost every single day? We're talking life-changing items, not your cell phone. And so while you think of a gift, because you're such a great gift giver.
It has to. Oh. Ugh. Well, is it a gift that I've given somebody or a gift that somebody's
or
given
just
me?
something somebody's given you.
Well, I have to think. I mean, I have 2 answers to your question in terms of things that I have.
Do you want me to give you examples first?
Do you have examples?
I do have examples.
Okay. This might enlighten me.
This might help you think of some things, you know.
God.
So I do have some examples for you to kind of help make your
I would love
decision.
that. Even if it doesn't relate to things that I've been given, I'd love to hear what other people have been impacted by.
And now a lot of these items that I got from the comment section, because there were quite a few comments under this TikTok video, and a lot of them were repetitive, and I did mark the ones that were repetitive.
Well, it's good if a lot of people are saying it. That means it's a good idea.
And so one of the ones that was very, very, very repetitive was a bidet toilet attachment. People said they use it every single day.
That's true. I will say that's something. It's something that you don't think about, but once you
use a bidet, you'll never go back.
And then when you go to Target and they don't have a bidet, you're a little like, oh, this isn't as good of an experience as it could be if I was at my house
and had my bidet.
I've had the baristas ask if we could get one for the shop, and I don't know.
Could you imagine?
Well, that's the problem. It's like,
no, I don't think that's sanitary.
Okay, but in Europe, where bidets are more common, do public restrooms have, like, is that just a thing at home?
Google that. Do public restrooms in Europe have bidets?
I just need to know, because I know, like, if you go
Our
to, like, a
producer,
European
Kathy's gonna
hotel,
Google.
if you go to, like, a European hotel, they've got, like, bidets in the hotel rooms, because American travelers frequently are confused by them. Maybe not anymore. That's one of the only good things to come out of the pandemic, is that everyone bought a fucking Tushy bidet.
They really did.
I like mine. It was good.
mine.
I only have one in the upstairs bathroom. We don't have one in our guest bathroom, but
Yes.
public restroom. Well, first of all, public
Okay.
restrooms in Europe aren't a thing. But
Well, true. Actually, in Italy, bidets are a legal requirement in new homes.
oh, it's like a building code.
Oh, wow.
In new homes
So
specifically.
those pussies are clean.
Clean,
in
honey.
Italy. Write that down.
Yeah, bidets are very common in France.
I think more Americans need to get on the bidet trend.
Just more evidence that Americans are behind in so many ways.
And will straight guys use them? I don't know.
They should.
They don't let the
'Cause you know
water
they're not
run
cleaning
between their
booty
cheeks
holes,
anyway.
So they need all the help they can get.
Going hand in hand with the bidet,
Wow.
up second was the squatty potty.
Oh,
People love a squatty potty.
I do love my squatty potty. And that was not a gift. That is something that I thought was as seen on TV bullshit. And enough people convinced me that I bought one with my hard-earned coins. And I truly love it. Game changer.
It is a game changer.
I need to buy one for the coffee shop.
It speeds things up.
It's great.
Expeditiously.
Beautiful.
It's how we're designed to poop.
I know. They really got me with the marketing. They're right.
So a couple of more...
Can't get the last scoop out of the carton.
A couple of
Jail.
more useful things before we move on to maybe some more sillier gifts that were given. Some people, and this was another comment that was commented multiple times, put motion-activated lights under their bed and their bathroom vanity. So when they get up to pee in the middle of the night, those lights automatically come on and they can see where they're going.
I don't have motion sensors, but I do have night lights in a couple rooms in my house.
Oh, yeah, we have night lights in the
I can't
hallways.
I can't have too much light or I can't sleep. But there are a couple, like I have one in both bathrooms. I kind of wish when I had one on the landing at the top of the stairs, but there's no outlet, so I can't put one there. But it's...
You need one of them lamps from the TikTok shop that's battery powered.
Then I got to charge it.
I think it does charge.
Yeah, well, because everything's a micro USB now.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, and it doesn't come with a charging block either, so I have to supply my own block. But I do love a good motion sensor or night light, or I don't know. The older I get, the blinder I get, so I need all the help I can get.
I may have chosen this next one for one of our favorite listeners, Sydney.
Oh, God.
Because, while we do love our vertically challenged people, sometimes they need extra tools to make jobs happen. And something that I did not think about because I'm a tall individual is that people have these things called washing machine tongs.
What?
And they use the washing machine tongs to reach down and grab the stuff that's at the bottom of the washing machine that they cannot bend over and reach.
Get a front load. That's where the technology is going anyways, is everything's front load
Don't
now.
those like mold and mildew faster?
I think they do, actually.
They don't work as well either. You have
We
to
have a
replace the
top
seal.
loader.
Listen,
But I'm tall and can bend over. And I didn't know.
My
That was also
washers-
commented multiple times. And I
my
didn't even think of
washer
that.
is top load. My dryer's front load.
Dryer's front load. Yeah, dryer's
Yeah.
always, most of the
Yeah.
time.
Front load
Yeah.
washers are not efficient.
Yeah.
So now maybe some more silly.
It's not silly
gifts
if it
that were
changes
given?
your life or benefits you in any way. Sometimes it is the little things.
My divorce.
Wow. Wow.
If you need to escape, honey, escape.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
I mean, it's good that I do think it's good that we live in a world where more people are comfortable getting a divorce because it used to be you were stuck with somebody you potentially hated.
Well, and that also goes back to the patriarchy, right? Women couldn't even
Yeah.
get credit cards,
Yeah.
own a house, own land, nothing unless they were married.
So it's not that marriages used to last longer, it's that there was no way out.
They had to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. My IUD.
All right.
Baby,
Work.
if you use that every day, congratulations.
Good for you.
Good for you. This next one says 6 pairs of scissors, one for every place that I need scissors.
Honestly.
Okay, that's
The most practical thing ever.
That's an ADHD thing as well. ADHD people survive best when they have stations where they
Yeah.
do things. Like if where your coffee pot is, if you have all your little accoutrements right there to make coffee,
Don't I know it?
you are a more efficient, more happy individual. It's just science.
The coffee shop has 4 or 5 pairs of scissors. We have 1 pair in the kitchen, 1 pair up by the register, and we have 2 pairs in the office.
And the last one, my husband's vasectomy.
Oh. Which goes hand in hand with the IUD.
It really does. It really does.
But thankfully, not something that we have to deal with.
Now, one of my life-changing items, which I feel like is more practical, Aaron and I discovered using Aquaphor as chapstick instead of chapstick brand chapsticks.
Speaking of something you have to have 6 of, you got to have a car chapstick, a nightstand chapstick, a desk chapstick.
You really do, though.
Yeah.
This is Alabama. You can't have a car chapstick.
Oh,
Well, that's why you get the
Only
little...
in the winter.
No, you get the little Carmex tub.
only in the winter.
And it melts and resolidifies. Because it's not in a tube, but you don't have no twist up. You just...
Okay, that's smart.
Now, I will say, yes, it's all in the tub. However, when it is 90 degrees feels like 104.
It's
you
liquid.
Open that tub, it's liquid. So you're going to dip your finger in there, and then you're just putting bacon grease on your lip.
It is lava.
Crisco.
Yeah. Oh, it gets kind of warm in that little container.
I
Yeah.
bet it feels nice
yeah.
and tingly, though.
Unless you just dip your finger too far, and then you're just dripping Carmex down your
I'm
lip.
dead.
Yeah.
So after all of those lovely examples,
Love that. That didn't sound like a drug.
What
that
was
sounded
that?
like a creature.
I don't fucking know.
I
what that
don't
was.
like these weird noises we're hearing
we're
outside.
going to ignore that because I don't know what that was.
Wow.
I'm gonna go look outside. 'Cause I was.
Don't want to look outside. It Chupacabra is
This is
out
War
there.
of the Worlds. This is what's happening.
I don't know what's going on out there.
No, because my heart rate is elevated.
Jumping.
This is the part where you have to come back and say everything's fine, and then we continue the episode.
Now I want to look.
I hate it here. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that if and when that happens, it's just all swift, all at once.
That's the way I want to go.
Yeah.
I don't need it to
I want to be
drawn
here
out.
1 second and gone the next.
So, in a zombie apocalypse, are you recording?
I hope so.
yeah,
In this is not related at all. This will have to go somewhere else.
Well,
in the
I can
episode.
copy paste.
In a zombie apocalypse, are you somebody who thinks you could perhaps survive without electricity or gasoline and using the resources, or are you just take me out? I'd rather not participate.
Just take me out. I'd rather not participate.
I wear contacts.
I can do. Baby, I need an inhaler every day
Exactly.
to survive.
If I don't have my Flonase and my contacts, I gotta have
can't.
my Flonase, and once I run out of contacts, then I've got my 2 pairs of glasses that I
Can't
own.
see.
Yeah.
And then if
once-
your prescription gets worse.
Exactly, or if I break or lose those glasses, then I can't see. And I'm not somebody who has I mean, my vision isn't really bad, but it's impaired enough that I would be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Without
Predators
corrective.
would get
Yeah.
you.
And I don't have any, I'm not very strong physically, so I don't really bring anything to the table, So if I exist, it's because somebody is feeding and watering me.
right. You're comedic relief.
Great, because that's what people need in the apocalypse.
I mean,
Is a
I
sassy
cannot.
faggot.
You think
to
the
try
A
to-
sassy faggot.
you think completely depressed people survive the apocalypse?
I don't know. I didn't finish The Walking Dead, but
Oh,
Me either. So, amazing gift giver as you are,
oh god, yeah.
what would you say is something that has brought you joy?
One of the things that I thought of is a gift, and the other one is something that I technically bought. When you sent this prompt to me, I jokingly first thought the coffee shop because it is it's something I bought and I do use it every day. But then I literally said that to myself as a joke, and the longer I thought about it, I was like, but the coffee shop has changed my life.
It
I have
has,
met
yeah.
so many incredible people. I've got my incredible employees. I do think I'm a better person and a more learned person. I have
Yes.
learned and grown a lot in these last 4 years because of this opportunity that was presented, however expensive it was. So there is that very joke answer that turned into a real answer. But then when you started you started talking about different gifts, I just remember my mom found me a copy of Photoshop when I wanted to get into graphic design that had been Photoshop CS2 was released to the public so many years after its original release, and
Yeah.
it was just released for free because it was so old that it didn't have the new stuff. But when I was in high school and my parents didn't have any money, but I really wanted to get into art and design, my mom finding that free copy and it working on my computer literally let me explore something that I do use
That
every
opened
day.
up a whole new world.
Yeah, because before that, I didn't know if I wanted to be a designer. Like, I was just doing it for fun, like as a side thing for some stuff I was doing on the internet. And then I was fully like intending to go into school to be a teacher.
Literally
and
life-changing, yeah.
She gave me that access code, and then I took a graphic design class at Auburn High School, and I was like, this is so cool.
Boom, she was
I love
hooked.
this. Yeah, and I literally still use all of that that I learned. I don't use that version of Photoshop anymore, obviously, because it would be quite old at this point. Very old. CS2 came out in like 2003,
Ooh.
I think, the original version. But like I use Photoshop every day. I use the design that I taught myself every single day. And especially as somebody who is a college dropout and everything I know about design and art is self-taught. I think that having that help from my mom, getting that, or even just the other art supplies that my parents bought me over the years has been instrumental to like how I view art, which is fed into how I do drag.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Or how I work in drag, how I work in the design work that I do freelance. It's how I operate the coffee shop. Like that idea of understanding how design
that
works.
thinking pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
How
love
to
that.
be creative like that. That was very important.
It's amazing how a gift like that can
Yeah.
forever change
Yeah.
your life. I guess the second half of our episode has a theme. The first half was just random bullshit because,
that tracks for us.
I mean, it's episode 6. You should know by now what you've gotten into.
Yeah.
And if
Continuity is
if you
what you're
started
looking
with
for.
this episode, I feel sorry for you. You should have started with the Welcome to the Pod episode
Yeah.
so you knew what you were getting into.
I can't imagine working backwards on something like this.
Because it's going to get worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
We updated equipment. We updated software. It's only going to get worse
We have
if you
real
go
notes
backwards.
now.
We're going to do a hot takes episode for you, or a hot take segment for you this episode. Pageant season is coming up. It is quickly approaching here in the drag community.
It really is, actually.
Pride pageants are going to start popping up here shortly.
As of publishing of this episode, I think the Magic City Comedy Queen will have already happened. 'Cause I
Magic
think
City
it's in
Comedy Queen,
January.
prelims
when.
popping up, all that. So
Yeah.
you have prelim pageants popping up to get ready for national pageants that are going to come later in the year.
Yeah.
So pageant season is upon us. And since we both are title holders, we decided we would take you through our drag pageant hot takes.
Oh, Lord.
Drag pageantry is old, as we have figured out. It
Honestly.
harkens back even to the 60s and before. They've been doing it for a while. There are a lot of rules when it comes to traditional pageantry. So my advice to anybody that wants to get into pageantry is to research the pageant system before you choose to go and participate in that pageant and vie for that crown. If you're a comedy person, if you're a campy person, maybe National Comedy Queen is more your style of a pageant instead of going for maybe, I don't know, Entertainer of the Year, because
Yeah.
those are two completely separate pageants, obviously. Most of the pageantry that we have here in the South is old school Southern drag pageantry, big hair, big jewelry, big gowns, stoned tuxedos, very much so the definition of feminine and masculine. But here recently, especially in Atlanta, we have seen the emergence of a few mix pageants,
Yeah.
which I am
Little
so
more,
excited to see.
little more my speed.
I feel like those are
Yeah.
more Skittles speed instead
Wow.
of the traditional all everyday
I'm
pageantry.
retired from pageants, but
Me too, probably.
I don't know. I feel like one day I probably could do something again. I just don't know if I am in the headspace to. Competing is weird and hard and challenges you in a lot of ways that doing traditional shows doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's
It's like a mini
necessarily-
drag race in one night. It's quick.
It's not necessarily what I want out of drag.
It's good for when you're first starting drag to kind of help you grow and learn a little
Yeah.
bit about your drag and about your performance.
Also,
and
some
about your
people really
persona.
like structure.
Oh yeah.
And so people that
Pageants
really
provide
like
that
structure
structure.
and competition may be really into pageantry.
And may thrive in that pageantry as well. The first tip I have for you, I guess the second tip. The first tip was research the system. The second tip is once you figure out what pageant you want to participate in and you're ready to do that pageant, read the fucking packet.
Front to back several times. Print it out on a real piece of paper and like
highlight portions, take notes before you message the pageant coordinator and ask them a question that is already answered in that packet.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if you message a pageant coordinator and ask them a question that is already answered in that packet, they're going to yell at you.
Yeah.
They're going to yell at you. So,
but also, if you can't even read the packet, then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They've already lost doubt in your abilities if you can't even read the packet front to back. So read the packet so you know what you're getting into, what your commitments are. At the end of that packet, it's going to tell you what your requirements are if you win that title. Like if you win a Pride title, you probably have to be at Pride Fest. You probably have to be in the parade. You probably have to be at the give up. To crown the next
It's kind of
person.
crazy how many people think a pageant is just one night. You're basically, the pageant is all like a job application and interview.
Absolutely.
For something that you're going to be doing for the next year.
You are the representation. You are the face of an organization. So this is your interview. So make it good.
Yeah.
Put your best foot forward.
It's not just a crown.
That's some good tips.
Yeah.
What do you have over there?
My first bullet point says, be okay with losing.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't necessarily do pageantry just to win, which, I mean, feeds into what I just said, surprisingly. But, yeah. But you should be doing it to have the challenge. And also, I think a really important thing about pageantry is getting those real-time, like, feedback and critiques. When you're in a pageant, obviously you have the other competitors, but you're really competing against like what you have done in the past in like past pageant presentations, or like what you're trying to one up yourself in a lot of ways.
Right. And a great thing to have in mind for pageants is if you lose one year, you can always come back the next year better because you've got those judges' score sheets that you can look back at. And they're going to give you some critiques. And the best advice I can give you about a judge's score sheet is the same advice that was given to me by many queens long ago, is to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you read a comment and you're like, what the fuck is that bullshit? Just leave it.
Yeah.
Don't look into it.
You have to remember that these judges don't necessarily know who you are and the kind of drag you're trying to do. They are really only going to be able to look at the surface level value of what you have provided.
100%.
Pageants do not give you the opportunity to defend yourself or explain your concept. So it unfortunately is very much just the visual stimulus that they have to go by. So like you really can't take everything to heart. The very first pageant I ever did, I was told that they enjoyed, I don't remember which category this was, but they said that they enjoyed most of what I was doing for that category, but that they wished I was in a natural hair color. But
it's all of it is subjective.
But
judging
also,
is
I just
subjective.
think that I personally always think back to that critique because it's just what part of the name Skittles implies natural hair color.
Well, and see, here's
to you.
where if you have a good system and a good pageant coordinator and a good pageant director who is actually looking at these judges' scores and seeing what they're counting off on, a pageant director has the power to throw out a judge's score. 100% full stop. Especially if a judge is sitting there saying, minus 25 points, I don't like the sound of your voice. Like, what? I'm sorry. That's not cute at all.
That's not something that we're
judging for.
That's not
constructive. Like, you can count off points because the hair maybe didn't go with the dress. You can count off points because maybe the undergarments were being seen through
or
the
they
mesh,
don't connect
or
with
they
the
don't,
theme.
Exactly. But you should never count off points because you didn't like somebody's voice. Or I've literally had somebody count off points on me before because I sing live for my talents. And literally one judge wrote, minus 5 points, you sound like a man. Well, hello, Mary.
Spoilers. That's crazy.
Hello, Mary.
Baby, this is a drag pageant. What did you think was going to be here?
You think I was coming? No. That's not how this works. But anyway. So some of the judges' score sheets sometimes can get a little ridiculous. So don't read too much into it is what
Yeah.
I would have to give advice to judges' score sheets. They can be super helpful because sometimes you don't know until somebody tells you. Pageants, they're not for the faint of heart. You gotta have tough skin. You gotta be able to take criticism. I can't stand a sore loser for a pageant. Like when we're up on stage
you don't say goodbye
crowning,
to anybody. You leave, you pack up. You don't even stay for photos, or you barely stay for photos.
like you didn't stay for photos at all. You barely stay. Like you heard you didn't win, and you immediately walked off the stage.
Yeah.
Don't be that person. Do not be that person.
Yeah.
Because you'll never win that title.
Yeah.
Everybody who is in charge of that organization just saw you act like that. You didn't want to represent
Which means you're not going to be a good
organization.
ambassador. Yeah.
You just wanted a crown.
Yeah.
And now you're stomping off that stage because you didn't get it?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You have to have better sportsmanship for pageantry. Absolutely. Don't be a sore loser.
If you want a crown, just buy a crown.
Listen,
Anyway.
it's a piece of plastic, y'all.
Yeah.
AlabamaWholesaleCrowns.com. They're $36.
Shut up. I cannot. I'm about to go buy so many crowns.
You need a crown, it's $36. You need a bigger crown, it's probably $52.
Stupid. You got a plastic crown.
You know.
Yeah.
So for me, pageantry, you either have to be really out there doing your philanthropic duties.
Yeah.
Or you really do need to be the face of that organization. And so for especially pride titles.
Yeah. You need to show up to events.
You have to
need
be
network.
at events.
Yeah.
You have to be promoting stuff. If you're supposed to raise money, you should raise that money.
Yeah.
Like, there are contracts for a reason.
Yup.
So you should follow those contracts. Any other pageantry hot takes?
I do. We talked about it earlier, but I do love this sort of some of these newer pageants or competitions where instead of having a lot of pageants have like the Mr. and Mrs., but a lot of them are moving away from having even like different categories as much as they just have like one winner, and it's kind of just like a anybody's game situation. I really enjoy that, and especially like any pageant that has like not like it's okay to have some of the traditional like evening wear is a classic kind of situation, but some of those where like it's not so much about like the classic structure, and it's like we'll do this instead, like putting a twist on it, giving us a new challenge. That's exciting to be
Make it
like,
interesting.
I've not been asked to do that before. That's a cool thing to ask me to
Give it a
do.
flair.
Yeah. A good theme or something like that.
I do love a good theme. That's sometimes hard with a pageant.
It is. Well, because a lot of people...
the theme's not good.
A lot
then
of
the
people want
presentation
to
is
do
hard.
things that maybe are a little too specific.
Under the midnight sky.
That's the thing is, I think people are scared of doing something that's a little, like, easy. But, like, if you do something that's too niche, then you're just going to be disappointed by every entrant.
Right. I think one of my favorite things about pageants is the camaraderie in the dressing rooms.
Yeah.
Some of the most fun I've had
only
in
if
a
it's
dressing
good.
room.
I don't know. Sometimes the vibes are
is a
off.
pageant. I, thankfully, have not ever been in a pageant where the dressing room vibes were off. Thankfully. Was one of those pride pageants the dressing room off?
I've only done 3. So the 2 out of 3 were good. So majority is good. That very first Pride on the Plains pageant.
I just didn't know what I was doing. I was just frantic.
I don't think really any of us did for real. When I look back on it. Looking even like
Addison was the only one that knew what she was doing, and she won the damn thing.
Yeah.
So.
And the literally
it shows.
Yeah. You, me, and Cora were just like, like
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was hilarious.
When Addison painted herself green and did Wicked for her talent.
2 seconds.
And then unpainted herself green.
Absolutely.
And then put back on beauty makeup. And I thought I was hot shit for changing my lip color. I was just trying to get through the night.
There's just some good advice. If you are doing a pageant, change up your makeup, even if it's subtle throughout the night.
Yeah, if you
start with a lighter eyeshadow and darken it. Start with a lighter lip and darken it.
Yeah.
Start with, I don't know.
Or add a glitter later on.
I was about to say add a glitter.
Change your earrings, change your jewelry.
Oh, change your jewelry every category if you can.
Yeah. Find ways to show that you are. The little stuff does kind of, people are looking for that.
They are.
Also, that means you need to get good at modifying makeup and changing makeup after you've already done it. Some people are not good at being fast.
Learn
with
that color
makeup.
theory.
I think that's something that is lost on younger drag people. Is they're very much, and that's part of the beauty influencer culture. It's very much like sit down at the boudoir for 3 hours. And back in the day, 20, 30-minute mug.
Well, this show
ready to perform.
The show that I did recently for Carrot Toss, younger drag king, the Mister Gunner Down, his first number was Sweet Transvestite and had on the Rocky Horror makeup.
Yeah.
Like, it was to the T done. It was great.
Yeah.
Did his number, ran backstage, painted himself green for Wicked
That's crazy.
during the show.
Yeah.
And was done by the time it was time for him to go back on. I was like, that's dedication, kid.
Yeah.
That is dedication.
It's crazy.
I was here for that.
Yeah. I've watched Landon Sider from Dragula. Sometimes he'll do TikToks and he will be like, well, I'm doing this Disney brunch and I'm doing 2 completely different characters. And I'll watch him over the course of a TikTok. So like 15, 20, 25 minutes, completely change everything about his makeup.
And it's all about shadows and highlights.
Yeah.
That's all drag makeup is, people. Highlights and shadows. And if you can figure out how to
knowing
manipulate
how
them.
the products work and just putting that shit on.
With your face.
Yeah.
Because your face and my face are 2 different faces.
It's so crazy what some of these people can do.
Makeup
Wizardry.
is crazy.
Love it. I will say one of my earliest pageant memories wasn't the first part of the Plains pageant. I had only ever talked to you in drag. So coming into that dressing room, I literally was like, I do not know.
Who are you?
I don't know any of the people in this room at all. And then you said something or grabbed something that I had seen before. And it just, like, I just remember, like, putting it, and I was like, oh my God.
That's Kalana.
That's Kalana. Oh my God.
That's so funny. I live.
The disconnect. But I famously, when I first started doing drag, I was talking to Envy Duvall at shows and talking to her at her job at Ulta at the time.
And you didn't know it was the same person?
I did not know. And it wasn't until after my first open stage, I went to Ulta like a couple weeks later, and she talked to me about it because she was at my first open stage. And I was like,
how do you know?
Wait a damn minute.
How do you know this,
I was
bitch?
so confused.
Shout out Envy Duvall. If you're in Panama City, go see her at Splash Bar in Florida.
She continues to amaze me. She's somebody who can change her whole look really quickly. Like, she does some, like...
She'll be 3 different characters in one night.
In one night, yeah. And she's not afraid to commit to, like...
She'll be motherfucking Cindy Lou Who.
A couple years ago, she did Cynthia from Rugrats, with like the wig like standing up.
Yes.
Yeah, love that. I love cool drag that's like over the top.
Good drags.
Like
Good drags.
Like, how did you even come up with that idea? How did you make that wig do that? Love that shit.
Any other pageant hot takes?
I don't think I have any more hot takes.
Maybe our Work It or Tuck It might bring out some more hot takes.
I definitely have things written down for my Work It or Tuck It's.
But before we do that, can we take a break? Because I need a beverage.
Absolutely.
Let's go get a beverage real quick. We'll be right back.
Goodbye. I'll be right back. Yeah, you got to echo it out.
Back rolls.
Stupid.
I am out of... Are you tired of the same old coffee shops? Looking for a place where you can truly relax and enjoy an artfully curated cup of coffee? Look no further than Coffee Mafia, Auburn's only queer-owned coffee shop. Our expertly crafted lattes and espressos are sure to satisfy your cravings. But that's not all. We offer a variety of mouth-watering breakfast and lunch options to keep you fueled throughout the day. In a hurry? Grab a Red Bull and some snacks from our grab-and-go section for a quick bite to eat. From our signature ice crack to our bagel sandwiches, there's something for everyone at Coffee Mafia. So come on down and experience the difference. Coffee Mafia, your locally owned LGBTQ coffee shop. Come see us at 414 South Gay Street, Auburn, Alabama. No. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home.
Well, I'm gonna head out then.
GLAMOROUS.
That's one of the first like albums I listened to back to back. Was the Duchess.
That's why I can spell glamorous.
Yikes.
Delicious is how I got my high school nickname. Well, again, I guess it started in middle school. I got my middle school nickname.
Love that. Yeehaw.
Well, I guess we'll jump back into some Work It or Tuck It's then.
We're back. Wow.
To wrap up this episode 6.
Oh, Lordy.
Work It or Tuck It's. I guess we stayed on theme a little bit.
Yeah, more pageant bullshit.
This time we've got some Work It or Tuck It's pageant, drag pageant edition. Let's see. Here you go. You asked earlier, but I intentionally ignored your question because it was in my Work It or Tuck It.
Oh, Lord.
Work It or Tuck It. The big drag hair loaf.
I have lots of feelings about the hair loaf.
Time and place.
Well, because we were talking earlier about, I just hit the mic with my hand because I don't know what I'm doing. We talked earlier about wanting
Bigger hair with volume.
bigger hair,
But
more
loaf,
drag
I feel,
hair.
is different. I feel
It
a
is
loaf
different.
is different.
I feel like there are some really good loaves, and there are also there's some really bad ones. I also feel like I hate that it's become, or I feel that it got to the point where if you weren't wearing a big sculptural updo, like you would have points taken off because you weren't wearing a loaf.
Right,
And I
yes.
think that's silly because that shape may not work for everybody and it doesn't work for every gown.
I don't feel like I look good with an updo.
Yeah.
Like my ears are too big.
I like a good like half up, half down. Like I want some
If I'm
stuff
doing
going
evening
on.
gown, it's gonna be half up, half up, half
I
down.
want a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm gonna have to say tuck it for the loaf. Like I can't. It's not for my drag.
And the really old school where it's always like dark brown or
Painted.
black. You have the painted hairline, and then you've slicked your own hair back.
Like I said earlier, time and place.
Yeah.
There are certain drag entertainers that a loaf, when I see them with a loaf, it just works.
Yeah.
Like Martina d'Elegance in
Yes.
Mobile.
Yes.
She can pull a loaf.
Yeah.
I cannot pull a
Yeah.
loaf. You know? Eureka O'Hara can pull a loaf.
Absolutely.
I
don't want
cannot
to see
pull
her
a
not
loaf.
in a loaf.
I don't want to see her not in the loaf,
Yeah.
actually.
I don't know if I'd like that.
But for me personally, tuck
Yeah.
it. Tuck it.
Not a fan. I'd rather like a big, intricate updo that doesn't just give low.
Like
I want to
something
see
dense.
I want to see like curls
Volume.
and rolls and
Volume.
stones and yeah, that's what I don't know. Not just a big potato on the head. I don't know.
What's your work it or tuck it?
Oh Lord. Okay, my first one is judges that leave scores with no remarks.
Ooh, you can't do that in my pageant.
Good. Because it's absolutely a tuck it. I think if you don't have anything to say, you can't just take points off.
If you take points off and you don't give me a reason why, I'm coming back to you and asking for a reason.
Why do judges feel like it? Okay, this is a very multifaceted.
I understand nobody is perfect, but if you are going to take points off, there has
need to say
be
why.
a reason beside it.
Well, there's also
like
judges that
minus
will-
2 points flyaways in your hair. Minus 2 points, I can see your bra strap. Like, I need to know
Yeah.
why you took those points off.
There are judges that will just straight up say like, "I'll never award full points."
And I can understand that.
I kind of get it, but also like, if you can't actually come up with something wrong and you just feel like, "Well, I just gotta not
I
give
just
them
need
full
to take points off.
Yeah, then don't. Like, if you don't really have any critique,
So if you're taking off points, tuck it. You better give me a reason
yeah.
why.
And like we said earlier, it really needs to be like, this shoe
Constructive.
is visible, or this shoe does not match. This hair is the wrong shape.
Yes.
This gown, this costume is not fitting correctly. We can see undergarments. It
Right.
shouldn't be like, I don't like the color green, so I'm going to take 5 points.
Listen, the fastest drag pageant I have ever attended was South Alabama Pride's drag pageant. Their second one that they did.
Yeah.
Baby, in and out in 2.2 seconds.
Good.
Like each category was 5 minutes
Yeah.
long. Like
And, I
that
mean-
pageant was done in 30, 45 minutes.
When
I was here for it.
when I won Mixed Pride on the Plains, there were so many parts of the night where all of the contestants were ready backstage.
Waiting on the
and
judges.
we were waiting on the judges to finish their sheets.
And I appreciate judges being thorough. I do.
Well, some of them weren't thorough.
But
so
also,
what was I waiting on?
That part. Like, if you're just sitting there trying to figure something out, baby, it ain't going to come to you. They already left the stage.
And the next year when I did my give up, we cut some of the entertainers between categories.
Because the judges were taking so long.
Well, but also we were realizing in real time that, like,
we didn't need that many entertainers.
We didn't. If the entertainers were all ready and we could start the next category, we're dragging this thing out.
Well, and I didn't put that in my working ticket for drag pageants, but that's one thing I also hate about a drag pageant. You don't need that much entertainment between each category.
You really don't.
If
just
you
long enough
have-
for them to reset, change costume.
You probably don't even need it. If you have at least 3 contestants in each category, you don't need that much entertainment between categories. Because as a drag, and we didn't say this at the beginning, but I'll say it now. If you're participating in a drag pageant, when you walk off that stage and you're done with your presentation outfit, you should be immediately getting into your entertainment, your evening wear outfit. Whatever the next category is, you should be getting ready immediately.
And stay ready. Get
ready and stay ready and stay on deck.
Yeah.
And even if it takes them an hour to get to you, baby, you're ready and you are there to go.
Yeah.
And no points are going to be deducted for you for being late. So
I think that goes back to getting faster at your makeup and your you got to.
I think all this unnecessary entertainment between categories is just making what could be a 2-hour pageant a 5-hour pageant. You know,
nobody wants to sit
and
through.
Especially when you don't start that pageant until 10 p.m.
And
now we're here until 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know who won until 3 o'clock in the damn morning.
Everybody's tired. The organizer, the contestants, nobody wants to be there.
Yeah. So cut out all that bullshit. We don't need all that. Work it or tuck it. Talents that include multiple background dancers.
If you can pull it off, absolutely work it. There are some really cool talents that I have seen that have utilized dancers or people playing other characters in like sketches or parts of talent that have been like, I understand why you had the extra people. This concept would not have worked without help.
If you want a great example of this, all you have to do is go look up your current reigning Miss EOY FI. Because Genesis Talent at National EOY, that group number, that's some of the hardest choreography I have ever seen on a pageant stage. Like, she put those dancers through it, honey. And it was all in sync. It was all coordinated. Like, that's one thing you have to look at if you're going to have backup dancers.
Every person on that stage is going to be judged.
They get judged.
And unfortunately, the dancer isn't competing.
No.
So
but
if they do badly,
if he's
it's going to go on your sheet, baby.
You're getting points taken off.
Yeah.
So if you have backup dancers for your talent, make sure they know what they're doing, honey, because
that goes with props too.
Oh, yes.
Your props need to look good on stage. They need to make sense. They need to be where they're supposed to be. And like any sort of props that move or have components, costume pieces that come off.
Reveals.
You need to practice your reveals, your tearaways,
reveals.
Costume changes
Practice
and props.
your reveals.
Yeah.
God. Oh,
and you need to make sure you have a tight plan for like, so this isn't digging on anybody, but I had to change my talent the night of the pageant for Pride on the Plains because I was told that I would have a microphone that I could wear, and the building we were in just did not own microphones that could do that.
Yeah.
So I had to pivot to doing stand-up comedy and making a drink on a boom mic, which definitely changed my ability to walk across the stage.
To perform it, yeah.
And my ability to use my hands, which sucked. I mean, spoiler alert, still won. So it was still funny. People still got it. But it did suck that I had to like last minute change my plans. But I could have counteracted that by confirming before that the microphones were actually available or offering to bring my own microphone.
That part, yeah.
Yeah. And especially if you're going to do something that requires like weird, strange custom equipment like that, it's better to probably just like have that and double check like tech specs that it's even possible.
I have known people for their talent to literally bring their own sound system and set it up at the venue. instead of
gonna
using
just
the
do it
venue
right.
sound system.
Yeah.
I've literally seen people set up their own sound system because they're singing
Yeah.
live and they want to know that
You
it's
want
going
to
to
use a
sound
microphone
good.
that you know is going to work.
And so if they
Yeah.
bring their own equipment and
Yeah.
have it set up ready to go, they know it's going to sound
Because
good.
some venues don't have like real microphones meant for like it's a karaoke microphone.
Redacted.
Yeah. It's not nobody's gonna sound good.
Redacted.
Shut up.
But I sang live
Redacted.
and still won.
Look at that. Uh-huh.
By 2 points. It was a close one.
All right.
Cora and I were neck and neck. What's your other work it or tech it?
Being humble / like cheap / affordable with your package.
Oh. So I think there is a way to be frugal with your packet and still make it look good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then there's also things that can happen when you cut corners. And I am talking about myself
Yeah.
and my own personal experiences. Because sometimes hot glue is not going to hold it together like you think it will.
Yep. Absolutely. I had that happen. I had that happen all 3 times I competed.
The second time I competed in Pride on the Plains, I had a little back piece that I had put together, and I had some people help me, and somebody else did the sewing for me because I didn't sew, and they sewed it fantastic. But then I kind of attached everything together with hot glue, thinking that it was going to hold, and baby, she did not hold.
Yeah.
So you can be cheap, but just know that there are consequences that come with that frugality.
Yep. And if you're gonna be cheap in some, like, obviously, like, you can't have everything like custom made for you if that's not within your
right.
But that means that you maybe perhaps need to learn how to stone something yourself or alter something, learn some sewing basics, and be able to change some of the stuff yourself.
You may not be able to make your own outfit, but you can certainly embellish that outfit even more than what it already is. It doesn't take a lot of money to go down to Michael's and grab some stones or run over to the Hobby Lobby and steal some fringe or something, you know, and get that on your garment to add a little zhuzh to it for a pageant. Because for a pageant, you do have to have a little bit more than pedestrian wear every day, today, drag, you know. You want it to be enhanced. You want it to be zhuzhed up a little bit. You want to put your best foot forward. So, you know. What were we talking about?
Thinking of some of the things that I've made.
Cheap drag.
A lot.
I would say
but
work it.
I also think there's nothing wrong with being on. I think, you know, because especially, and some pageants don't even do this anymore, but they'll ask you, like, who's the designer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I've never worn anything at a pageant that was, like, made by a designer.
My favorite
I've
thing.
had things that were, like, made for me to my measurements, but they were made by, like, a costume company.
I've heard read while I've been emceeing some designers, and they were like, designed by Ross.
Yeah. Be honest.
Listen, so when you answer those questionnaires for a pageant, you can do one of two things. You can be serious with it if you want to, or you can be silly, goofy, and show your personality and have fun with it, you know? Like, the judges want to see that. The judges want to see you.
Everybody laughed at Part of the Plains when Jack said that the suit he was wearing was from Temu, and he just like
fucking
he just put
hilarious.
embellishments on it.
It was fucking hilarious. It was.
And he won because it was a good outfit.
Well,
that's all that matters.
His whole package was good.
Yeah, no, it was good. He's got some cool like costumes that he's like made or like glued shit onto to like make them interesting. It's very cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I like when people wear like, I don't know, I like fun things that are sparkly and attractive, and I don't know. But I mean, a lot of the gowns that I've worn, obviously not for like, because I've only done like the 3 pageants, but like some of my nicer like gowns that I wear for the more formal events or whatever kind of situation, some of those are like, they're just Fashion Nova dresses. That,
some of mine are hand-me-downs.
Or from Amazon. Or
some of mine are Fashion Nova.
Yeah. And it's just like, this was a nice dress. And, you know, it's not a $5,000 custom dress, but like it still has like beading and stones on it, and it's made of a nice material, and it looks good on my body. That's all that matters.
Period.
Yeah.
If it looks good and is the right length.
Yeah.
Like, because some of these divas will come out here in a gown and it looks like it's going to flood because that gown is
it's
up to your ankles. Baby, that gown needs to be at your shoe.
Yeah. Also, it's drag. We all know that none of this jewelry is real. your hair is not real. Like, what?
This is my real hair. Honey.
Yeah, sure. It's crazy.
God bless it. God bless it. Work it or tuck it. The presentation category speech.
Oh. I'll be honest. I don't think it's necessary.
Ah!
I don't. Unless they're going to, I think if pageants really want to do that, they need to give you a sort of structure.
I can see that.
Because I feel like a lot of times it's a little too open-ended. So you're either going to get like the sort of like, I'm contestant number, blah, blah, blah. Here's my name. Thank you. And that's not really, or like if they, I don't know, like you should kind of talk. I always talked about like whatever the theme of the pageant was and how
That's
it
how it should
related
be.
to what I was wearing.
That's how it should
but
be.
But a lot of people don't do that.
So I thought about in the next packet for Pride on the Plains, putting example speeches for the presentation category, just so people know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're doing a Pride pageant and you're not doing the newcomer portion, you should kind of know what the speech should look like. If you're a newcomer at pageants, obviously you're not going to know what that speech looks like. But your presentation speech, I'm for it. Work it. Because it tells me that you're a public speaker.
That's
that
important.
You can hold your own and that you're not going to ramble when you get on that stage.
It's also one of the few times you can speak directly to the judges about what you're wearing and presenting.
That's exactly who you should be speaking to every time you get that microphone.
Yeah.
When you have to answer a question, Q&A, presentation speech, whatever, the only people that matter at that pageant are the judges.
And some of my...
If it's a crew pageant, the current royalty, they matter too. The judges...
Some of my critiques, I feel like it made a difference that I could explain like the concept of what I was presenting, especially when you're doing something that is a little more conceptual and a little less, like this isn't necessarily
walking on stilts.
Yeah, that sure was something. I should do that again. I own those stilts and I don't use them.
You should put them to use. Don't die though.
You have to do some core workout. You have to work out the legs a bit. Because they're heavy, and you get tired really quickly. I'd love to do stilts for my Pride Fest number. That's one of the few places that you could probably...
Stilts on the stage? Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, you would do it on the ground?
I'd probably just walk in front of the crowd, But that's the problem, depending on the format of the stage. I would not wear them on stage.
Well, we had the catwalk last year. We might have it again this year.
I was dying last year. I was not paying attention to the stage. I was upset. Yeah. Yikes. I really should use those stilts for something, though. Maybe I'll wear them in the parade and just, I don't know. That I would.
Could you walk a parade in those stilts?
Depends on the parade route. Auburn? No, that parade route's a little long. But the Opelika one that's just
the Pride parade?
The Opelika one, their route is pretty short. So maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's as hilly either.
No, Auburn's downtown is all sorts of ups and downs. Shit. Where was I? I have one more.
Your last work at a tuck
my last work at a tuck it. The whole idea of it's not her year, or she needs to pay her dues, it's not her time. How do you feel about that? That sort of energy at the Page.
Tuck it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter.
The social politics is quite weird.
If they brought the best package, they should win, full stop. It doesn't matter if this is their first year competing in that pageant or if it's their 7th year competing in that pageant. You should not force somebody to come back multiple times year after year after year
if they're
to compete for the same title.
And they should get the title.
Exactly.
And there are so many people, especially in some of these bigger, older systems where there is a lot of social politics.
I know there's a lot of politicking. Yeah. I get it.
But
I get it.
I think it is I don't like the idea of making somebody wait. If you roll in your first or second year and you fucking crush it.
Nina West.
You deserve that crown because you rolled in and you ate that shit up.
Right.
Yeah. There's no reason for you to you should not have to wait.
I don't feel like
it's not your turn.
I don't feel like in the pageant culture that should be a thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as it wasn't her year this year. Maybe next year when she fixes X, Y, and Z or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if those are legit things, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if objectively...
Seeing somebody's potential and knowing that they're not there yet, that's different. But like...
That's like going back to The Queen, the movie that we're going to watch from 1968. Very clearly, very, very, very clearly, what's her name? Crystal LaBeija won that pageant.
Yeah.
Had the best package. But because she was a POC queen in 1968, she didn't win that pageant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil the movie for you, but
Yeah.
So I think I don't know why that's part of the pageant culture, but I would very much like for it to end.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it should matter at all. If you have the best package, you should win. That's what the pageant is for.
There is this weird thing that queer people do that even though we have been so excluded from things,
we still exclude others.
We still exclude other people that are just other queer people looking for a place to be.
And I don't understand that.
It's so weird.
I don't understand it at all. I don't understand why we have to ostracize an already ostracized community.
Yeah. And make more check boxes.
Like they already have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Why are you making this difficult?
Yeah.
So all because you think they're weird?
Yeah.
Baby, we're all weird.
Yeah.
You eat ass. Shut up.
Well, the straights eat ass now. That's a bad example.
If everybody's eating ass, then I don't want anybody to complain about anything. If we are all out here eating ass, I don't want to hear nobody bitch about somebody in a furry suit. Let them have it.
Oh, my God.
It's not my cup of tea, but let them have it.
They ain't hurt nobody.
They ain't hurt nobody. Any other thoughts for some pageants before we close out this episode?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I feel retired from pageantry, but also I do sort of now that I can't compete for Pride on the Plains this last year and then this up and coming year, I'm kind of excited just to go sort of
watch.
Watch. Yeah. Well, I mean, last year I was hosting. I don't know.
Yes, you were.
I don't know if I don't know who is in charge. Are you still in charge of it, or are you helping Pride on the Plains?
See. I don't know.
Depending on who's in charge, I could be asked to participate in some capacity, but I could also just get to go watch, and that's also okay.
And I don't know where the pageant will be held, so we'll figure that out too.
Well, we can burn that bridge when we get there. So when I see the poster, I will go.
I live.
Yeah, but I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that, and I don't know if I will do a pageant again. I might. I don't know. I'm just so busy doing the show directing stuff, and I think that's more enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's where I'm at in my drag career, but also as a person. I'm not looking for validation through like a system anymore, as much as I'm looking to continue to build like the shows that I want more audience. I want us to make enough money that we can like book people that I'd really love to work with that I know costs more money than we have right now. I'd love to like have money for like contests, both like drag contests, but also like audience participation stuff. Like I'd love to, a
costume contest.
Yeah, I'd love to do like, like giveaways or like have themed shows where I can like buy props. I'd love to pay all the entertainers more than just the door money. I have things that I feel like more like things that I really care about more than getting another crown.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you.
It's very fulfilling, the work that I get to do.
Creating a community is a lot more fun than...
Yeah. But that also could be because we're in this weird little, like, other than the couple systems that are in the South, there's not that much pageantry unless you get into some of the really big systems that I'm not at that caliber, and I don't have that disposable income. So that's just inaccessible to me.
Well, and then we were talking about this earlier without the microphones on. Some of these pageants are pre-qualifying pageants. So if you win this pageant, now I got to go to nationals and compete in that pageant too.
And if you
don't
do
that,
then you lose the smaller title.
Exactly.
Like you get in trouble. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's something.
I'm not there yet.
Flapjack, if you're listening, I haven't considered Comedy Queen.
That's why she hasn't done Comedy Queen.
I'm just nervous because like I like some of the idea behind Comedy Queen, but if you do Comedy Queen and you win the prelim, if you win or get second place in the prelim, you have to go to nationals. And that is a much bigger, much scarier beast. And I, unfortunately, have a lot of commitments both to the two businesses that I own, but also to like the local drag scene that I'm
Let me finish this
curating.
master's.
Yeah.
Let me figure out what my life is going to look like here in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll be ready for some national pageants.
Also, I just didn't like the theme for this year's Comedy Queen. I don't identify.
A theme really kind of does make it or break it sometimes.
I don't identify with the Yay Sports theme.
Yay, sports.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been a funny theme, though.
I mean, I actually really loved Flapjack did a tennis themed look, and it was very cute. But I just
bowling would be hilarious.
Oh my god,
bowling would be fucking hilarious.
Bowling is a sport, I guess, isn't it?
You could have some big old bowling shoes on, big old bowling clown shoes on, dressed like a bowling pin with a bowling ball purse.
Think of all the things you could have done memifying Wii Sports.
That's the only sports I know.
Exactly. It would be perfect.
Wii Sports Resort. Beautiful. Oh my.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 6 of the MxMatched Podcast. If you have any questions about pageants, feel free to reach out to us. If we didn't cover something in this episode and you're like, hey, dumb bitches, why didn't you say this? Probably because we have forgot. ADD and we forgot. Yeah. But you can always ask us in the comments under each episode or talk to us on the social media. We recorded this in the past, and we don't know if TikTok is still alive or not. But if it is, follow us on TikTok. If not, we've got Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Sky Blue, whatever that's called.
Or anything else that may have come out in the 2 months since
we recorded this episode.
Because Lord knows what the world's going to look like in February. So I don't know.
Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. We will see you next time for more MxMatched Podcast. I'm Kalana.
And I'm Skittles.
Love you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness.
2 episodes in one day.
Love that. We're so productive.
Ugh.
We're so organized.
I'm too tired for that.
Yeah.
I need a Celsius if we're going to do
all that.